Welcome back to Your House, and thanks again for joining me. Let's continue to play this game and practice our dart checkouts at the same time. So our first number is a really big number, 147. Okay, but if you stick to the process I've been doing in the previous videos, you're going to get pretty good at it. Okay, so whether you're practicing and you're just using these cards as like practice cards, or you're playing with a mate who wants to also learn how to check out a little bit better, well, you can continue. Okay, so what's the first dart and the golden 44 number, that essential 2-dart finish? So we're going to throw treble 20, and remember, whenever we throw in treble 20, we visualize that 40 onto the last two digits and it reveals 87. So don't see this big number as 147, see this as treble 20 leaving 87. Get that right, you get 2 points. Now what is the second dart when you throw it at 87? Okay, or you can ask you, if you're playing with someone, what's the second dart when you're throwing at 147? Okay, you could do that and make it a little bit harder potentially. Okay, I'll think of snooker when I say 147, but hey, never mind. Okay, so what's the second dart? So how do you take out 87? This is what it's all about. So the 2-dart finish for 87 is treble 17. Okay, and then you would state your double 18. Okay, and you get a point for both. Now what is the miss rule? So the miss rule is, just refresh people's minds. Okay, this is what I call, when we're going for a treble, we will hit the big number more times than hitting that treble. So what it's going to be, if we're going for treble 17, you need to know what that's going to be, of course, but you also need to know in case you hit the big 17, because you're going to do that more times, and that's what the miss rule is. So it would be 70. All right, if you hit the 17, it's going to be 70. Now how else to take out 70? If you've got so this is just practicing that we're throwing as many ways as we know to take out 70. All right, so treble 20 double 5 is how you would go if you had 2 darts, because if you miss that treble 20, hit the big 20 again, it leaves 50, gives you that shot out of bullseye. All right, popular way is a treble 18 double 8. If you like the 18s, if you like the double 8s and the double 16s, you're going to go that way. And treble 10 double 20 is a good one if you like the top of the board like I do, and you get 4 points there, right? Okay, any alternate finishes? Yeah, you can go the 19s if you're really good in the 19s and you don't want to go the 20s. I can't really see a reason to not go the 20s, but so whenever we throw in treble 19, we don't visualize 40, we visualize 43. Okay, but like I keep saying, I always think about 40, adding 40 on, which would make it 87, and just add that 3 more on. Okay, and then you've got 90. So it's treble 90 leaving 90, and then you would take out 90. There's a couple of ways you can do that. You can go treble 20 double 15, which is probably what I like to do, and you can go treble 18 double 18 for all you double 18ers out there, and you get 2 points if you get that correct. That's number 147. So on to number 137. What's the first dart? I'm going to throw a treble 20. Now how do I reveal my essential 2-dart finish, my golden 44 number? Because we're throwing treble 20, just visualize 40, and then you've got your answer 77. You've got 2 points. Now how then do you take out 77? That's what the second dart's all about. Well, a lot of people will go treble 15 for double 16. Okay, get a point for both. Now what's the miss rule on the second dart? So we're going for treble 15, we have to assume we're going to miss that treble, hit the big number, and it will leave 62. Okay, now if you got 1 dart 62, you're probably still going to go treble 10. We've got it here, treble 10 for double 16. But if you've got 2 darts, you must know treble 12 double 13. I know double 13 is a rubbish double, but we go that way if we had 2 darts left. It's a 2-dart finish. Look on any crib sheet what you'll come with, a dart ball or your set of darts, just check it out. Treble 12 double 13, because if we miss that treble 12, hit the big 12. Okay, the miss rule always comes into play, helps with our decisions of how we do things. Then it will leave that 50, that shot at bullseye. You get 3 points for that. So an alternate finish. So instead of going the 20s, we can go the 19s, and with the 19s we just put 43 on the last 2 digits, not 40. But I keep saying this, just add 40 on, so 77, add that 3 more on, because that's what you're going to do. It's a lot easier to see 40 on a number than 43 on a number for some crazy reason, but it is. And it would leave 80, so it's treble 19 leaving 80, and then you take out your 80, treble 20 double 10, or you can go treble 16 double 16, which is pretty cool. Another alternate one for 77, which I quite like, it's treble 19, because that's 57. for double 10, which is 20. So 77, you get 3 points if you get all that right. So that's number 137. Okay, so next number 118. First start is treble 20. We're going to put 40 and visualize that 40 on this. 58. Really easy to see it. And the second dart, we're going for a how do you take out 58? Okay, and there's really only one way you're going to do that: single 18 for double 20. So we don't have any alternate finishes here. We don't have any misroll here because we're not going for a treble. So these are kind of cancelled out. Really straightforward, really easy. Now let's just say why we don't go the 19s here, because if you went for treble 19, okay, so that would leave 61. Okay, it's kind of pointless because you're going to need a treble, all right, where you just need a single number here. But also if you hit the big 19, it would leave 99, wouldn't it? So we wouldn't go that way. Why would we do that? You know, take 19 off 118 or take 19 off 18, and the number would be 99. So again, you can't finish, even though it's a 2-digit number. It's a 3-dart finish. It's the only 2-digit number 3-dart finish that we have. So we don't want to fall down that trap. So simple, treble 20, leaving 58, single 18 for double 20. And on to the final number of the day, number 111. What is my first dart? So treble 20. And to know how to reveal my golden 44 number of my essential 2-dart finish, just put 40 onto 11, 51. Simple as that, you get 2 points. Now, just about how do you take out 51? Okay, there's a few ways to do this. So what's your second dart? So it would be treble 19, double 16. Now if you want a little formula on this, which I know you're crying out for, maybe not. So it's just helped me to start with. Okay, now I know them, I don't need this formula. But if you want to finish on the 16s and you want to know what your single number that you need, you can just literally see, this only works for the 16s, this formula. Take 2, okay, off the last digit. 2 off 1 is 9, but of course we've got a big number here of 51, so it's not 9, it's going to be 19. 19 for your double 16, which we just have down here, okay. And of course you get a point for each. Now, is there any misrules on this? Well, no, because we're not aiming at treble, so we can't miss that treble. We're just aiming at that single number, 19, aren't we? So, but any alternate finishes, yes, so for 111, instead we can go the treble 19s route, but we'd need to add, so before we added 40 on and revealed 51, we need to add that 3 more on, because this is the rule of 43, for want of a better title. And it reveals 54, and you just take out 54 however you want. You can't take it out on the 16s, but you can go a single 14 for double 20. All right, now there is a formula if you want to finish on the 18s. I haven't mentioned it here, so it can be a bonus point. So 54, and you want to finish on the double 18s, okay. Formula you can use is you plus 4 onto the last digit. Plus 4 onto 4 is 8, but of course we're on a big number, so it's not going to be 8, it's going to be 18. 18 double 18, which is actually 3 18s, which is 54, like treble 18, one dartboard. Okay, let's look for some alternative finishes for 51. So we could do the 18s again. So just like this, instead of 54, you can see this has been, so we just clear this, spend a bit of time instead of rushing. We don't need to rush, do we? So 51, the formula for the 18s is plus 4. 4 onto 1 is 5, but of course it's going to be 15. It's not going to be 5 because we're on a big number of 51. 15 double 18. That's like a bonus there. Okay, and that's what that is. That's what that's all about. And that's just showing you how to get to there. Okay, and single 11 for double 20. One of my favorite ways to do it because I like the top of the board. And then you have 3 points if you get all that right. Anyway, number 111. Okay, great. We're ripping through these numbers. I hope someone out there's collecting and print them off and collecting them. Let me know by all means. Thanks again for watching. Coming next time, I'm going to carry on with this top trumps. We're going to do some more marking and scoring. At some point, investigate my misrule. There's a couple of little points I want to talk about that, but there's no rush, is there? Thanks again. Take care for now.